Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about audience personas essentially. We call it that. We're looking for our dream buyers, all right? We are looking to find our core customers, the ones that are actually going to part with cash, ones that we can actually genuinely help and bring value to, so we can make that decent exchange where we are getting paid because we are creating value and helping them with a problem. So we need to do that. To do that, we'll just quickly recap first. The last couple of videos we've gone over have been about finding your niche topic, right? That is step one of what I'm calling the discovery element, right? Where we kind of define our audience and find our niche. We've kind of found a niche, or maybe you may have done what I've suggested and selected a few niches, and you're going to narrow it down over this next couple of sections, right? So I created a video on the overview of finding a niche, why it's important, and generally how to do it. Then we created a video on digging into the weeds on how to do it and how we're going to find our niche. To do that, we use an AI. I built an AI tool, the Niche Hunter Pro here, just to help you do that and make that easier for you. And then we've got some document guides as well, all right? So we've got some niche research guide, because it's really important that you understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how, so you can replicate it. And a lot of people on YouTube or on everywhere really will teach you the theory behind stuff, right? So there's all the theory, but they won't teach you the action. So I personally believe it's important to have both. You need to know the theory, but you also need to put it into action. You need to get that balance right. It can't be all theory, it can't be all action, because you'll get lost along the way. It needs to be a good balance. So I'm trying to give you that balance as we go forward. So you get a niche research guide there, and then the SOPs for finding your niche, which is essentially walking you through the video, what you need to do, and how you are gonna. That's my dog. He loves doing that, making loads of noise, shaking his jowls. And anywho, we got this guide here that will help you walk you through what you need to do as well. So as far as I'm concerned, we complete this section, right? I know what niche I'm doing. Hopefully you kind of narrowed it down to a few options here. We'd mark that as complete. We'll move on to the next section. Within the next section at the minute, I've got an audience persona template in here. Again, teaches you what an audience persona is and why it's important and how to do it. So we've got the document there. Again, I've created an AI assistant to make this easier, because this can be overwhelming for people. Excuse me, it can be difficult for people, and my goal is to try and make your life easier and make my life easier, because I use these kind of tools and it's just useful for you guys to use them. So, and within this section as well, this video will be included, because I will be helping you and showing you throughout this video how to define your target audience essentially, all right? Which is step one of what we want to do, because we need to know which market we target in. We need to know what problems they have, who they are, and how we're going to solve them problems. Because that's the start. If we can't figure that out, we got nowhere to go. So we need to figure that out. So let me just click quickly onto the Dream Buyer Finder AI assistant that we have created. So in here, we've got sections, so a few options. You can ask it anything you want, but these are preferred prompts that I've popped in for you to give you an idea of what to ask, right? Because it's already trained, it's already got a prompt in the background, so it knows what it needs to be doing, right? So I don't know if you know of Sabri Suby. He's the Australian chap, marketer. I just really like his stuff. Yeah, I think he's brilliant. So I've got a copy of his book, Sell Like Crazy. I don't get any commission or nothing like that on his book, but I think it's really good. It's really valuable. I think it's worthwhile reading. And in there, he kind of goes over a lot of things about identifying your kind of 4%, your dream buyers. Then people are just going to be, people call them like your raving fans, your top fans. There's lots of different ways that marketers kind of refer to these people, but essentially we want to buy those people who are going to be, who we're going to be speaking to. They are the ones, right? They are the core people that we're going to be speaking directly to, that we're going to be marketing to, that we're going to be trying to provide value to. And by doing that, others will come along the way, but that 4% are the ones that we are really laser focused on, okay? So we've got a few options in here. So help me identify my 4% dream buyers. That's the one that's the big one for me. I would start with. I need a Dream Buyer avatar breakdown, so that's helpful as well, having an avatar so you know who you're talking to whenever you're doing your copy. Again, use Sabri Subi's method to profile my audience and who benefits most from my product. All good ways to run this through, and I would probably try them all, but let's try this for now. It's probably going to ask me a question because I've not told it exactly what I want. Right, see, to start, it's going to ask me a question. What am I selling? So I'm going B to C. My dog is here. Do you want to be involved, do you? B to C, right, and we are selling digital products on how to create and launch your digital product business. What's the urgent problem that it solves, or the compelling transformation that it delivers? Dog, he's so needy, I swear to God. Right, what is the urgent problem it solves, or the compelling transformation that it delivers? Right, well, we haven't figured our product out yet, and that's what we want you to find out, don't we? So we're going to say, I am currently unsure about this. I want to know what the market needs. Can you help me by researching this, please? I'll give my dog some fuss while that's happening. Right, so that's going to do its little thingy-jiggy pops. Right, high demand niches in digital products, online education and e-learning, 120.70 billion. Right, there's some big industries here, right? So it's kind of identifying the industries, identify your dream buyers, aspiring. So it's giving you some choices, common pain points, crafting your offer to appeal to these buyers, guides users from okay to product launch. Right. Further steps. Okay, would you like assistance in creating a detailed customer avatar or break down your roadmap? Yes, absolutely we would. Yes, let's create. We're not going to do the product roadmap right now, okay, because that's going to come later on in our steps. So yes, and what we're going to be careful of with this stuff, number one guilty person here for doing it, is jumping ahead before we've done the other stuff, and then you end up having to circle back, and then you get a bit lost because you've done this and you've done that, and you're not putting it all together. This is why I built the Launchpad, so you can do it step by step. If you've got an ADHD mind like mine, where you just like flitting from idea to idea and you run in before you can walk, it's a perfect tool to just get you just on point level, ticking off the boxes as you go forward. So let's create a detailed customer avatar. For me, I am targeting people who want to quit their 9-to-5 and have their own digital product business, giving them freedom. And let's see what he comes up with. Straight for the gold, apparently. We are going straight for the gold. Emily or Ethan, mid-30s, 28 to 45, any gender. Mid-level employee, corporate tech, admin, marketing, miserable at work. That's what that means. Just real miserable at work. Income, 50 to 90k a year, US, UK, Canada, Australia. Bleeding neck problem, feels trapped in a soul-sucking 9-to-5, being there, brother. Sick of building someone else's dream, burned out from long commutes, office politics. Oh, that's just gross, isn't it? I can feel it, like the hairs on the back of my neck just standing up now with that office politics. It's just, hate that shit. Zoom fatigue, Can we just jump on a quick call? That kind of shit, yeah. Okay, has tasted the online creator world by Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and knows there's something more. Okay, they're in a dialogue. So these are the kind of things that we need to know, right? These are the kind of things that we can talk to, that we can relate to, that our product can kind of help them with, right? This is pretty good. And then they'll translate this into messaging that cuts through the noise and hits them where it hurts. Do I want help to craft that? So essentially we can craft our message from here, what our selling points and stuff like that, okay? And we can move on from there. I'm not going to do that right now. We've got an avatar. Personally, if this was me, I would copy this out, save it in a Word document, start a file for your business, whatever it is, on your desktop. Because, I mean, whilst you can do this on a phone, it's much easier on a laptop, right? So if you have got a laptop, I suggest you use that. Copy and paste this into a document and then just pop it in the file with your business stuffs. Pop that in there, and that is a good starter, really. And I would say that's probably, I'd be probably pretty happy with being at that point right now. I mean, this will get saved within your ChatGPT anyway, but I quite like that. So now we've got a decent idea of who we're targeting, why we're targeting them, right? The next will be to research our niche and go into a bit more depth with our niche, which we will do that in another video. But essentially, this is what we want to do. Define our target audience. Who are they? What's their pain points? What can we help them with? Understand them, learn about them, really know what they're up to and what their problems are, because then you can help people, right? You can help people better the more you know about what they're going through, what issues they're having, and that kind of stuff. So I think, to be honest, I'm not going to pad this section out any further. We've created this now. We've got a niche. That's probably the most difficult one at the start of this beginning section. Now we've got an avatar. We've defined our target audience. We know who we are talking to every time we talk to them, and we can learn that inside out. And there's nothing wrong with doing a bit more research on that, a bit more digging. You can even use the research tool. All right. So if you went back into ChatGPT, for instance, let me copy this. Okay. So this is our avatar. Oh, I've gone too far. Copy this, and if you've got the Pro version, you get a certain amount of deep research searches a day. So I would use that. The Pro version GPT is like 20 quid a month. It's worth it. So you can use this deep research when it's needed. I would put in here now, I have my customer avatar. Please do thorough research online to find the places they hang out, spend time and engage. Find out what their biggest problems and pains are. Also try to understand their language and any specific terminology that they use. Here is my customer avatar. Now, it's deep research. It'll probably ask me a few more questions. Here we go. Alright, so we're going to say digital product creators. For the first one, we want that. Number 2, and any specific platforms, channels, and competitions. Not specifically. Okay. Do you want results formatted? Report with sections like where they hang out, biggest pain points. Yeah, that sounds nice. Now it'll do its thing. It'll take a little while, no doubt, deep research, because it does a bit more thorough digging than the regular one. That's the whole point of it. I'll probably let this run, hit the pause button, and then we'll jump back in when it's finished doing its work. Boom, it's done it. We are back in Dodge, right? So escaping a 9-to-5 profile of aspiring digital product creators. It gives us an audience overview. Who are they? Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so it gives us mid-career corporate escapees, exposure to the creator economy, frustration and motivation, right? Where do they hang out? Reddit communities, Facebook groups, all right, and it goes down to like breaking down how many members and stuff, YouTube channels that they follow and they like, so this helps us with targeting these people. Instagram and TikTok, quit your job, side hustle, trends. Biggest pains and challenges, burnout and time crunch, especially if you've got family and stuff like that. Fear of failure and loss of security, that's a big one, isn't it? If you're paying your mortgage, you've got kids, that's a big one, isn't it? That security element, okay? Even though, arguably, especially in the modern day, you're not as secure in a job, any more secure in a job than you are running a business per se, but it just feels more secure because you're getting a paycheck every month. You kind of bank on, I'm going to get this amount every month, whereas in a business you can't guarantee that. You could have a really good month and you could have a really bad month, so I kind of get that. And you look at the rates of business fail at as well. It's a scary thing to do in it. So overwhelm and not knowing how, I think that's a big one as well. Tactical and technical and marketing hurdles. Marketing is a tricky one in it for people, especially people who don't want to put their face out there. A lot of people, it comes down to an ego thing as well. Not like that they're egomaniacs or anything. I think we all have a form of ego, but it's just a case of you don't want to be embarrassed or be seen to fail in front of friends and family, and everybody can kind of see you on that platform and you're putting yourself out there. So it's scary for people. Money constraints and transition worries, isolation and lack of support, again, another big one. Language and emotions, how they describe the situation, freedom versus frustration, burnout, traps, drain, and it gives us some words. Emotional triggers, these are big as well. Emotional triggers are the ones that we will lean on in the marketing element. Again, I would save this, put it in with the other documents. Dog, I know you're here. Put it in with the other documents and then just keep that for later on when we come to our marketing side of it. But this research is going to be invaluable come the end, right? So how to engage and inspire this audience, meet them where they are. So that's an important element. Asking people to come to you is more difficult, right? Because unless they know who you are, you have to build trust. It takes a long time. Whereas if you go to where they are, you can build trust within their communities, all right? If they're asking questions in there, you can help them in their community, in that Facebook group, in that thread, whatever they might be in. You can just help them with some value and not necessarily try to sell them anything in that point, because if you engage with people and they see you being a positive influence in that area, chances are they'll click and have a look on you anyway and check that out. Nobody likes being sold to, especially if it's cringy and horrible. So acknowledge their pains and offer hope is a big one, right? Provide roadmaps, blueprints, challenges. That's important, right? People want to know how to get from A to B, essentially. And that's what I talked about in the other video, where people do all these strategy videos, these overview videos. They're great, and they suck people in with the titles and with this promise that it's going to transform anything, but they never actually show you anything of value. They just tell you the theory behind it, and they gatekeep, and what they are doing is not showing you what they are doing. They are just telling you how you could do it potentially. So it's a load of crap, and it annoys me. So that's why I kind of made this series. Emphasize community and support. There's a lot on the community stuff at the minute, isn't it? With like school groups, and the community stuff is being heavily monetized at the minute as well, which might give it a negative overtone, but it can be a really valuable thing, that community, in that sense of people supporting you. Content themes that resonate is side hustle to main hustle, how I did it stories, mindset and confidence building, step-by-step tutorials, freedom lifestyle. Tone and trust is important, so remaining down to earth. Not the thing is, if and you might have experienced this when you watch videos, and that's partly why this is really raw, how I film it and how I'm producing it. I've got a teleprompter, I've got the lighting, I've got everything I need to make this a professional looking studio and setup, and I could do this and deliver it like a pro and only release it when it's right. Or I even got a videographer, I could use him and do that. But I think that sends the wrong message, and I think there's a load of people out there doing that. And it's all substance, no substance, I'd say, sorry. And it's all that kind of, all for show, make it look all bells and whistles, and then all they're trying to do really is kind of sell you the dream without actually showing you how. And that kind of, it really irritates me. So I've kept this raw. I'm doing this step by step. I'm literally not editing a single thing on these videos, other than Loom doing what it does automatically with this AI. I am not editing these. I'm just put them out. Offer low risk ways to get started. Again, that's important for people in it, especially if money's a problem. Then you don't want to be taking a load of risk and shelling out a load of money and then being caught short. There are ways to do this, to create a digital product business with, I wouldn't say no overheads, because there's always going to be a cost. If you haven't got an audience, you're going to have to pay for advertising, and that's just the way it is. So I would love to say you could do it for free, but if you don't have an audience, you can't. If you have an audience, then yeah, you probably do it for free. Or if you have a lot of time, then you can do it for free, because you can take your time to build that audience over time. But if you want to get a product to market and start selling it relatively quickly, you're going to need to spend on ads, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, that brings us to the end of that, I suppose. This is what I would do in this kind of section of defining your target audience. It will really help. It will really help if you do this extra dig and you keep this document for when you come to doing your marketing. It will pay off. It will tell in the long run that you have A, done your homework, and B, you know who you're talking to, how to talk to them, what the problems are, and it'll help bring your copy back in. Because if you start getting, because I do it a lot, I get carried away when I'm doing my copy, and then you start just writing what you think, and then you lose sight of, actually, I'm talking to this person, this is what they think, and this is how I need to reword this. But we'll cover that later date. Let's just park this for now, and then we'll come back. I'll be happy. I'll drop this video in this section as well, and then we'll move on to the researching your niche, which is, essentially what we've done here. To a degree, we've gone a bit deeper, but again, we'll go deeper than that, another layer deeper for researching our niche, just to dot the I's, cross the T's, make sure that when it comes to marketing that we are on point, and this is gonna work as well as it can. Cool, but for now we'll leave it at that. So thanks for watching. Peace.